Om Kayena vacha manasyendrayirva Bhutyatmanava prakriti swabhava Karomi adyat sakalam paresma Narayana samarpayami Narayana samarpayami.
Dear Seeker of Truth, welcome. This is a very auspicious moment. We are going to talk about Bhakti. Bhakti, divine love. So we are going to talk about Bhakti as the essence of all spiritual paths, as the soul of all spiritual paths, and also as a path in itself, Bhakti Yoga. So this is a work made by sage Shandilya, the Shandilya Bhakti Sutras. Not much is known about this Shandilya, only that he was a sage, a God-realized being that gone through many other philosophies and finally got to the nectar-like Bhakti as the soul of it all. So Sage Shandilya had a very intellectual approach also. He was concerned about getting from the different authorities, the different scriptures, the validity, the importance of bhakti as a spiritual path. So he gathered that all and shared it. So may you all find divine love in your hearts. May you all be blessed by this auspiciousness. May you all find God. Moving on, Shandilya Bhakti Sutras, Sutra 69, still on the Sutra of the Offenses, Part 6. So Sanat Kumara answers Sri Narada Muni. In the previous video, Sri Narada Muni asks to Sanat Kumara, O Gurudev Sanat Kumara, please enlighten me about the various offenses that one can be committed against the holy name of the Lord. So Sanat Kumara says, if you understand the offenses unto the holy name individually, each one of them, you shall be able to overcome them. This verse discusses two such offenses against the holy name. Avoid them and try to chant in an offenseless way. By taking shelter in the Supreme Lord Hari, Sri Hari, a living entity is delivered from his sins, pains, and offenses. So if you take shelter at the feet of God, then you will be relieved of your sins and offenses. What does this mean? Those who discard their family of Kali Yuga and sincerely connect with the Lord family of devotees commits no offenses in doing so. Like we saw previously, that it was an offense to not to support family and all dependents and this, but if you are seeking the feet of God, if you are exclusively seeking God, if you leave the world to be amongst devotees in a holy place, at the feet of the Guru, at the feet of God, then you commit no offense by doing so. The sins accrued by the living entity throughout his past lives are destroyed when he accepts initiation into the Lord's service. When he is aware of what that means and he accepts initiation into the service of God, then his sins are destroyed. When a living entity surrenders himself unto God without any reservations, the Lord nullifies all of his previous sins. So, if you're surrendering to God, the Guru, but with reservations, cannot be nullified because they are there and they will help you to a certain extent. But if you surrender without any reservations, then all of this is nullified, the previous ones. He does not need to perform any atonement. All the scriptures declare that spiritual initiation alone destroys all of one's sins. So it doesn't matter what you have done. If you approach sincerely God, the Guru, and you receive initiation with a sincere heart, then your sins are nullified. No other atonement is needed. When we honestly and sincerely take shelter of the Supreme Lord, all of one's offenses become nullified. He no longer feels any inclination towards sins or sufferings. But even after receiving initiation, he sometimes commits offenses while executing devotional service, seva aparada. This hinders his devotional pursuits. But when he takes shelter of the holy name in association with sadhus, his seva aparadas are nullified. So if he is with his guru, for example, or with some other sadhu, sage, seer, then he is protected from seva aparadas. And it doesn't mean that one should behave irresponsibly, because those offenses, being aware of them is very important, because it means you are growing in sacredness. So if you misbehave because of that, eventually you will lose that status, which is one of the more difficult status to maintain for what I have observed so far. When he receives the mercy of the holy name, the living entity becomes thoroughly purified. He can approach the Lord and be engaged in his pure devotional service. But if the living entity commits namaparadas, offenses of the holy name, then he certainly falls from grace and loses his spiritual course. So this is something which is quite common. After initiation, everything is shanti. Not shanti because things are going on, but in that case, in that circumstance, because of the aparadas. But then usually aparadas come much quick, because in this point of time, things are a little bit more difficult. So if he commits namaparadas, the ones that we have seen, then he falls from grace and loses his spiritual course. And we have seen how that can be reversed. Sincere regret and chanting the divine name, asking forgiveness, all of this. The holy name is a friend of every living entity. However, offenses against it cannot be counteracted by any means and serve as an obstacle in one's spiritual life. So it cannot be countered by any other means, and it is an obstacle to the spiritual path. It doesn't move forward. Hence, we should be very careful to avoid namaparadas. In this way, the living entity can attain all perfection and reach the lotus feet of Sri Hari. I, Sanat Kumara, had previously inquired from Shankara, Shiva, in Shivaloka about the offenses against the holy name. So now a dialogue between Shiva and Sanat Kumar. There on Mount Kailash, seated amidst numerous sages, Lord Shiva mercifully advised me. The holy name of the Supreme Lord brings happiness for all living entities. Offenses unto the holy name of the Lord, however, is the source of all inauspiciousness. So the same source that brings happiness to all living beings is that which creates all inauspiciousness in case of offenses. Anyone who desires to attain auspiciousness must always be careful, shun Namaparada's offenses against the divine name. So it is easy to chant the divine name, more easy when purity is there, of course, but you need to be careful with these Namaparadas. Understanding these offenses, carefully shun them and you will attain divine love for the Lord's holy name. And when you attain that love for the Lord's holy name, then you will not let go of it. One who chants the holy name without avoiding these offenses is promptly seized by the Namaparadas. One who knows about the offenses but is reluctant to shun them is a fool who suffers perpetually. Yes, because if he knows and he keeps them, then, well, it is a conscious choice. Sanat Kumara said to sage Narada Muni, O best among sages, always chant the holy name of the Lord Hari without offenses. No other means of salvation are necessary other than chanting the holy name of the Lord. The holy name can award you with all perfections, O Narada. And Sri Narada said, O Sanat Kumara, you have achieved all perfections in your devotional service to Lord Sri Hari. It is for this reason that you are able to reveal so easily the hidden truths about the holy name. When the practitioners, because this is a hidden truth, and it reveals itself when time comes. When the practitioners are always afraid of committing errors, so please explain how we can avoid committing offenses. Material objects act as our friend, and it is on their strength that Maya binds all of our actions in her ropes. So he is saying that material objects act as a friend, but then they bind us to Maya in illusion. Our consciousness is without any trace of renunciation, and our body has become our dearest friend. We are always busy accumulating material wealth. This is Sri Narada Muni speaking, so what to say of the rest? Please explain how the practitioners can prevent these offenses from arising in one's hearts. So Sri Sanat Kumara replied, the moment one takes sincerely shelter of the holy name, one is free from Namaparada. Still, if he commits offenses unto the name again out of negligence, then those offenses shall hinder his progress in bhakti, in spirituality. When offenses are committed out of negligence, you should chant the holy name of the Lord at every moment, and you should surrender unto the holy name with ever greater resolve, because that's the only way. On the strength of your intense and continuous chanting, you shall be delivered from your offenses. meaning that if you're stopping the offenses also, of course. Chanting the holy name is the only means to destroy offenses. Nothing else has the power to do so. Sage Sanat Kumara continues. O Narada, let me reveal to you the essential truth about this subject matter which is widely sung in the Vedic scriptures. When the holy name, which is the abode of all good qualities, is either uttered, remembered, or heard even once, and if the invocation of the holy name is without vyavahita, then the holy name delivers the invoker immediately. The word vyavahita has two meanings in this context. Either the holy name is obfuscated when the syllables comprising the holy name are chanted too far apart from each other, or else the holy name is invoked in ignorance, and it hence appears to the invoker only in a mundane form, the words. So, only in these two ways. Knowing that the holy name and the possessor of the holy name are non-different destroys this ignorance. So knowing that the name of God and God himself, they are non-different, destroys this ignorance. So when invoked in purity, just once, the holy name delivers immediately the devotee. When the holy name is invoked without vyavahita, it manifests in its pure form. There is no consideration of mistakes concerning the proper or improper pronunciation of the name letters. When it is pure, when it comes out of purity, all those things become secondary. There's no consideration about the way you're pronouncing the name of God. The Lord has invested all of his powers in his transcendental holy name. There is no consideration of proper time and cleanliness when it comes to chanting his holy name. Different from other spiritual practices, there's no consideration of time, place, cleanliness, or whatever. You can and you should chant in all circumstances possible. Of course, not committing sins. So if you're committing sins and chanting the holy name, that's not auspicious. That comes without saying, but still I said it. So chant the holy name at all times and then under all circumstances. You shall attain the good fortune, and it shall drive away all inauspiciousness. Chant the holy name rejecting all mundane associations. Chanting the name of the Lord accompanied by mundane attachments delays the auspicious results, as we have seen. So if you're chanting with mundane associations, then you're still keeping mundane investments, and you shall go to them, you shall be dragged to them, and you will not be able to chant the holy name no longer. Or if you are able to, you will continue in offenses. Well, not chanting is also an offense, so there is no escape. So rejecting all mundane associations to keep oneself pure, untainted by those desires, and being able to burn them down through the fire of devotion. Due to being attached to body, wealth, followers, greed, or sinful companions, the fault arises when the holy name is chanted. So if you're attached to all these things, then offense rises when you chant the holy name. Thereby pushing the living entity into a dilemma, either cuts one or drowns again in the ocean of delusion and suffering. Therefore, the first move is to reject all mundane associations. So this is Sanat Kumara saying, first move, reject all mundane associations. This will help you. It will not solve the issue because the roots are in yourself, but this will help you to burn these worldly seeds out of you. Taking absolute shelter on the holy name. By the mercy of the holy name, you shall be free from being negligent. The offenses shall go far away, and you shall attain God communion. If you're taking shelter unto the Lord, stopping all these worldly behaviors, worldly quests, worldly desires, then you'll be delivered unto the Lord. Being free from offenses. Chant the holy name of the Lord. Then the holy name of the Lord, bestowing divine love, shall reside within your heart. Surely. The symptoms of an offender of the nature of the name is his deceitfulness. Carefully reject such association and take shelter on the Lord's holy name. So those who are offenders are deceitful by nature, so shun those associations immediately. Shri Sanat Kumara concluded, O best of sages, previously Shankara Shiva, being merciful, revealed this mystery of the holy name unto me, which destroys all inauspiciousness and nullifies the offenses. An offender who chants the holy name of the Lord, after understanding the truth about the holy name, shall at once attain liberation. I confirm this, says Shri Sanat Kumara. Okay.
Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, tvameva bandhushka sakha tvameva, tvameva vidya dravinam tvameva, tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva.